You're listening to the Small Business Talk podcast with Cathy Smith. Welcome to Small Business Talk, episode 178. Today, my special guest is Vladimer Botsvadze. Welcome.
Hi, Cathy. Thanks a lot for inviting me to your podcast, and I'm excited to share my practical journey with you today.
Excellent. And our conversation today is going to be about how to build your world-class personal brand. And everybody needs a personal brand, so why not make it world-class?
Absolutely, we should make world-class, and we should strike while the iron is hot, because nowadays it is a golden age of social media. You know, there are almost 8 billion people in the world, and 5.3 billion mobile users, 5 billion internet users, and 4.7 billion social media users. And the question today is, if you have how to stand out nowadays in a noisy global marketplace, you know, and everything is available nowadays at your fingertips, you know, through your social media channels. If you start using these channels for professional purposes, you will achieve every business goals you set your sights on, you know. So my journey demonstrates my excellent example that I started building my social media channels from scratch in 2014. So from 2014 to 2022, I have only spent like 16 hours a day growing and building my social media channels, and that put me at the forefront of marketing and digital transformation. Nowadays, I work with 25 speakers bureaus. I'm ranked #1 global marketing thought leader in the world. I'm a jury member all over the world, like Stevie Awards, Digital Revolution Awards. I have been recently invited to Eventex Awards, you know, and, you know, I'm at the forefront of marketing because of social media, And this is a device which holds the attention of our society. And it's all about transparency, communication, and to make our relationships two-way street with our audiences, you know. So what allowed, for example, Jeff Bezos to build the biggest retail company in the world because of customer centricity, and what allows you to build a world-class personal brand, audience centricity. Customer centricity and audience centricity are the linchpin of growth nowadays, whether you build a retail company or you want to stand out in a global digital ecosystem, you know. So I'm very happy. I'm on cloud 9 to capitalize on social media to my advantage, to be at the forefront, to work with speakers bureaus. I have recently spoken alongside Philip Kotler at Global Marketing Summit in Istanbul, you know. I mean, I'm so happy that, you know, at the age of 35, I have had this honor to be listed alongside my icon and role model, Philip Kotler, to speak in Istanbul, you know. And also I'm on the verge of start writing a book about personal branding that will be published in the United States, in the UK. So I'm so happy that, you know, this device has put me on the global map, and everyone should strike while the iron is hot and make hay while the sun shines, you know.
Excellent. Well done. So for people who are just getting started, what would be your, say, 5 tips for people to start getting that exposure on social media?
Actually, 5 tips. Start small, connect with people, put out great content that is in the followers' best interest, stay patient, and think in the long term.
Okay, perfect. So I think that's sometimes where people kind of get a bit unstuck, isn't it? They're not seeing lots of traction, so they think, well, this doesn't work, I've got to try something else. But I like your advice on stay for the long term.
Yes, of course, Cathy, because these 5 tips have been the bedrock of my growth. I'm speaking from my first-hand experience, that what allowed me to be at the forefront of marketing, right? Because of these 5 tips, you know. And of course, we need to stay patient. We need to take one step at a time. We need to bear in mind that Rome was not built in a day, and nothing great is built in a day or in a month or in a year, you know. Because we need to give ourselves 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to drive our results forward, you know.
So what would you say to people that say it's too late to get on social media? If you haven't been on there for years, you've missed the boat. What would you say then?
It's never too late. It's never too late. People, of course, people say that, they don't have time to grow social media channels, but from from 7 p.m. right to 2 a.m. is a lot of time to start putting in the work, because I started this whole journey as a side hustle, I was just tweeting, I was just blogging, I was just exploring WordPress, Tumblr, Medium, and all other social media channels, and I literally tracked my progress from month to month, and as they say, great oaks grow from smaller cores, right? And so big things have small beginnings in life. We need to stay patient. We need to think in the long term. We should not be selling on social media, because selling is a number one mistake that allows us to go out of business, because nobody cares about sales pitches. We need to provide value. We need to provide educational and entertaining content to our audiences, right? We need to position ourselves as BBC, as CNN, as Bloomberg, because we need to provide enlightening educational content. Nobody cares about sales pitches, because sales people are oriented on short-term growth, right? But people who are in brand building business, and people who have podcasts, people who create blog posts, people who speak at conferences, people who create content, actually they are in a brand building business. That's why they win in the long term, because of they built a great personal brand. For example, why Nike? Well, Nike is Nike, right? Because Nike has a strong brand, and not like Nike CEO is coming to our house and asking us if we want to buy Nike. No, because we buy Nike because, for example, Just Do It commercial has taken Nike's success to the next level. It's the same for us. Like tweeting has built my personal brand. Speaking at conferences has built my personal brand. Appearing, for example, at podcast episodes has built my personal brand, Cathy. And I have been recently recognized among top 10 inspiring business leaders by Inside Success magazine in Ohio, and the editorial team. Yes, editorial team sent me the magazine issue to my country, and I truly would love to show you that I was featured in the magazine.
Very good. Well done.
Yes,
very
so
nice.
Inside Success magazine, one of the leading business magazines in the world, from Ohio. And I'm so proud to be among top 10 inspiring business leaders making a difference in 2022. And I was also featured in Enterprise World magazine that recognized me among top 5 successful entrepreneurs to watch in 2022. And also Excellion magazine in Delaware, United States, recognized me as a transformative leader of the year in the United States. I truly take pride in my journey because of audience centricity, communication, passion, and patience, Cathy,
Excellent. So I liked that you used Nike as a brand, because yes, that they're obviously global, they're big, but their messages are always simple. It builds on the just do it. And I think that's where some people go wrong on social media. They try to get too complicated and too many high techs, and then it doesn't happen. So you just need to be yourself. And like you say, give the authentic and passionate message.
Absolutely.
So what other mistakes do you think
one more elephant in the room nowadays worldwide is that global education. Because when I check out, for example, master programs or certificate programs or any kinds of educational programs in the world, they rarely focus on personal brand building. They rarely teach marketing strategies. They rarely teach Twitter marketing strategies, Instagram marketing strategies, how to stand out on TikTok, how to storytell. Because nowadays, I agree with Seth Godin, who said that marketing is all about storytelling. If we don't tell our stories, nothing great happens. We are not in the spotlight. We don't make ourselves conspicuous, right? So we need to tell stories. We need to show our passion. Seeing is believing nowadays, right? Because, for example, I put out 40 videos, and I have just literally shared my 50 videos on YouTube. The world watched me. They believe in what I'm doing, and now they work with me, because seeing is believing. right? We need because I believe that success is all about 0% talent and 100% getting yourself out there and earning success by dint of your hard work. Success is not given. Everyone thinks nowadays that success is given, that we have the red carpet treatment everywhere. Oh, no, I mean, I earned success by dint of my hard work because I worked 16 hours a day in the last 8 years. 8 years. I forgot to do my MBA in the United States. I forgot to do a 9-to-5 role at top technology company, right? No. And a mobile device has put me on the global map. Now the whole business world came to me, knocked on my door. They beat a path to my door to work with me,
And that all came through hard work and being consistent.
Yes, consistent action creates consistent results, right? I mean, it's incredible that now I'm now ranked #1 in the world by Thinkers 360, which is the first open platform for global thought leaders. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating, because I have walk the walk. I not only talk the talk, I walk the walk, right? Because it is amazing that my CV, Cathy, is one of the most competitive CVs in the world nowadays. The web is our CV. The web is our CV. The business world makes decisions based on our Google results. I think everyone needs to take care of their Google results, because before I start working with you, I Google you, who you are, how you contributed to my marketing worldwide growth, right? And I make decisions based on your Google results. Everyone needs to bear in mind that your traditional CV is dead, and what you tweet today is going to bring you success tomorrow, right? And your LinkedIn profile is of paramount importance. So everyone needs to take care of their personal brand,
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad that you brought up LinkedIn, because a lot of people think, well, I've got a great Facebook page, I might have a great Instagram page, but I'm not business to business. And that is fine, because we're all people to people. So whether you are in whichever business, it's all about people, and people go to LinkedIn to look you up. So you do need to make sure that you do have a consistent brand across more than one of the social platforms.
Absolutely, Cathy. It is a world of difference what they teach nowadays as business schools and what is happening in the real world nowadays, right? And nobody teaches our students who invest $200,000 in their MBAs to have a great LinkedIn profile, how to stand out on Twitter, how to connect with influencers, because one reply to a top entrepreneur's tweet on Twitter can make you a billionaire nowadays. And the shining example is Travis Kalanick, who co-founded Uber, who was hiring the first product marketing manager in San Francisco Bay Area in 2011. He tweeted that he was hiring a product marketing manager in San Francisco, and Ryan Graves replied to Twitter. They met and they started building Uber together, and Ryan Graves became a billionaire in a few years because of Twitter, because of networking, because of practicality. And practicality is what is missing nowadays throughout the world, because nowadays everyone is focused on outdated and obsolete theories. And when I publish my book in the foreseeable future, I will put my best expertise into that book, how to stand out and win in the long term.
So can we have a sneak peek of maybe a bit more of your wisdom about what the people starting out without those 8 years experience like yourself, what would you say
Cathy,
to them?
Yes, Cathy. And for example, I have been thinking about this for a long time, that what sets me apart is my way. I don't follow the crowd, right? I don't. I work 24/7, 365 on building my path, about living my legacy, making the right decisions, to be with the right people in the right place, And if you check out my background, how I have built, and I'm now certified, and I moved to the United States when I was 18, and I was given a visa to move to the United States. I was born in Georgia, but I was dreaming about exploring the world in childhood. I was burning the midnight oil. I was one of the most diligent kids. You know, I was not wasting my time in the streets. I was following my passion, my dreams. You know, I had tutors. I loved geography. I loved English. I loved math. I loved foreign languages. I love foreign language. It was my dream. Like actually, where I stand in 2022, for example, in 1997, when I was 10, I was dreaming that where I will be, for example, in 2020, what I will be doing. And I was following my passion. I pursued my, actually, they say that formal education will make you a living and self-education will make a fortune. Self-education, yes, self-education is everyone's responsibility in this decade, because everyone started, whoever is at the forefront nowadays, they started small. They believed in themselves, and I believe in what I'm doing, you know. That's why I'm in the magazines, I'm in the podcast, I'm in, and now the book publishers approached me and knocked on my door and asking me, Vladimir, would you like to publish a book about what you are doing? Yes.
Well done. Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm now a jury member all over the world, a member of marketing judging committee of American Business Awards, and I'm trusted to judge billion-dollar marketing projects, you know, in the United States. Mm-hmm. Also, prolific nurse in Manchester. I'm a jury member, the only international judge in Manchester. And you know that it is not a walk in the park to end up being as a jury member in Manchester, because those people are those people are very selective in the UK. So they only work with the best. So I work with the entire elite British business people. You know, so I work with speakers bureaus, I work jury award ceremonies. I mean, startup accelerators. I'm also startup accelerators because I believe in giving back, Cathy. That's why I'm nowadays a marketing mentor. You know, like Apex in Berlin, a faster capital in Dubai, and so many other seed stars in Switzerland. And I believe in giving back because I believe that what allows that nowadays United States has the most unicorns throughout the world because of marketing. You know, yes. They are striking while the iron is hot because they are in building business. Because if startups have podcasts, if startups create content, if startups listen to their audiences, if they build a brand awareness about what they are doing, then they become unicorns in the few years. But if startups debate the ROI of social media, they will not be winning in the long term. This is a world of difference, as different as night and day. You know, that's why I want every startup to position itself as a media company. I want you to position yourself as media company, and whoever is listening to me now, you need to position yourself as media company. You need to bear in mind that you are Forbes, you are Bloomberg, you are a CNN of your industry, and to provide enlightening content, because nobody cares sales pitches. When I work, for example, real estate agents, their 2 TikToks can sell their $1 million real estate in New York City because they don't need to advertise on Google AdWords and in these platforms. No, right? Because social media allows us to gain ground and go places. You know, it allows us just to win, and you need to use effectively and strategically to drive your success. You know.
So one of the things that we agree on, that doing selling all the time on social media is a very bad thing and not good for your brand. Is there any other pitfalls that we should be looking out for and not doing?
Cathy, I mean, my mentors, you know, why I learned so much, a great deal from my colleagues, because everyone who follows me on Twitter is my mentor, my coach. For example, like a million and billion entrepreneurs, you know, I mean, they follow me on Twitter because they saw something great in me. I learn when I Google them, I learn everything from them. You know, I mean, what they do, how they build their success. I read their books, you know, and I read 500 pages a day. I follow Warren Buffett's advice to read 500 pages a day because it is a bedrock of growth nowadays. Reading. You know, learning is a treasure that follows its owner everywhere. Whatever you learn on daily basis will follow everywhere. So it is of paramount importance to spend your time strategically and to think in the long term, you know.
Okay, so we need to be adding content. We need to be using our social media channels. We need to be consistent. We need to be patient. We need not to be selling. We need to be
Yes.
self-educating and making sure we're reading. Is there anything else that you think that the audience should be doing to grow their world-class personal brand?
I mean, you know, they should leave no stone unturned. You know, I mean, they need to just connect with everyone. You know, because communication dictates everything we do nowadays. If we don't communicate, if we think that we live in ivory towers and we think that we know everything, then we are finished. We go out of business, because nowadays it's not about big or small. It's all about fast versus slow. You know.
Mhm.
We need to be fast. We need to leave our comfort zones. We need to be in the growth mode and learning mode.
Fantastic. And is there anything that we haven't discussed that you think we should?
Cathy, you know, I mean, I'm so happy to live my passion every single day. And when we connect, because I believe that we will collaborate on many projects in the future. When I visit Australia, and for example, if I, for example, invite you as a panelist to our events, it will be a pleasure, because I believe that one good turn deserves another in life. You know,
Fantastic.
so I believe that nowadays we need to be givers. We need to be givers, not takers. You know, everyone is looking forward to take. You know, we need to give. We need to provide value. We need to give. We need to help other people. We need to guide people in the right direction, how to win in the long term, to share our best future-proof insights with them. You know, because for example, I give away my best advice for free because I want people to succeed. You know, because when I started, you know, on Twitter and I stood nowhere, I was working from instinct and just connecting with everyone on Twitter, and I showing patience. And showing patience is was what allowed me just to gain ground and go places and move up in the world. You know, and I believe that we need to, because these opportunities, right? Mobile device can put me on the global map. I mean, it's incredible opportunities out there. For example, Facebook has 2.9 billion users in the world, and yeah, there are 8 billion people, and you can reach 2.9 billion people. I mean, if you are building a startup, for example, what allowed, for example, Jeff Bezos to build Amazon, because Jeff Bezos was advertising massively on Google AdWords from 2000 to 2007. Jeff Bezos and Amazon capitalized on Google AdWords to build what is Amazon nowadays. For example, Budweiser and Procter and Gamble were the biggest advertisers on TV in 70s and 80s, and these two brands became the biggest brands in their industries. And
Yes.
and for example, in 50s and 60s, whoever were the biggest advertisers on radio became the biggest brands. Now we have, yes, now we have transitioned from TV to mobile, because mobile became everything. It is a linchpin of growth nowadays. So we need to use strategically. We can build unicorns. We can build our personal brands. We can become world-class speakers. We can become world-class. We can literally, we can be in the spotlight because of social media, because it used to cost a fortune to reach global audiences 30 years ago. And I was dreaming in my 90s when I was a kid that, you know, how to connect with the world. And now everything is available at our fingertips, you know, and social media is not about showing the world what you eat or showing your pet pigs, right? No, we need to use professional purposes. You know, not everyone knows how to use this device for professional purposes, you know, and we need to be in the brand building business. We need to build our reputation. Yes, if people don't like personal brands, they should call it reputation.
Perfect. And I think that's a really good way to look at it, because sometimes people say, but I don't want to be the face of my business and I don't want to be the brand. But when you think of it as a reputation, then there's very few people that would say they wouldn't want a good reputation. So I think that's a really good way to end this part of the podcast. So thank you, Vladimer. I have 5 questions for you. So what is the best advice you've been given by a mentor?
Working on my self-development.
Excellent. What is the biggest help that you have received since starting your business?
Actually, I help people in many ways to build their personal brands and win in the long term. They built $1 million companies, right? And I received so many recommendations from those people on my LinkedIn, and actually everyone benefited from my award-winning knowledge.
Excellent. What is the one thing that you have to do every day, your non-negotiable?
Well, this is a great question. I do everything on my terms. I live my life on my terms. I build my business on my terms. I don't need to follow or to be given advice how to live, how to work, right? Because if I start following everyone's advice, then I will not be myself. And of course, when I read books, those people are my great mentors. But I make decisions based on my intuition.
Fantastic. What is your one most favorite business book and why?
Great question. I read How to Win in the Age of Disruption by my great friend, by Terence Mowry, who is a Inc. magazine contributor, entrepreneur in residence at London Business School, and great digital disruption speaker, and we connected on Twitter in 2016, and we have had a great friendship. And I truly enjoyed his book, and because he put his heart and soul into publishing this book, and he spreads his wisdom when he speaks at global conferences. And I truly suggest everyone reads this book because they will greatly benefit from Terence's expertise.
Okay, excellent. And what is the one thing that you wish you had known when you started out?
Well, when I started out, in maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago, I wish I had listened to more motivational speakers. Of course, because I started, for example, building my social media channels in 2014, right? But if I had started, for example, building my personal brand like in 2009, 10, 11, right? I would have achieved this success much earlier, but I don't complain because everything happens for a reason, because I can't rush anything, but I always try to make the right decisions, and I need to read, I need to leave my comfort zone, I need to listen to other people, I need to read books, I need to I need to pick other people's brains who are smarter than me, and that is like a cornerstone of growth nowadays, because we need to be curious. We need to open our minds to what's happening in the world and to learn something great from other people.
Excellent. And I think that is a very good way to end the podcast and great advice. And one of my favorite business books is The Go-Giver by Bob Berg. And of course, that's all about giving. So I think that's a really good way.
I agree with you, because we need to be givers in life. Of course, we need, because time flies so fast, and we meet so many people. And I believe that clarity is very important in business, because we need to be able to see the world faster, easier, clearer in many ways,
Yes.
And the main advantage, main takeaway from my speeches, from conferences or podcast appear, is that it allows my talks allow people to help them see the world faster, easier, clearer. How to capitalize.
And I think that's very important, being clear.
Yes.
Because
yes.
confusion makes them confused mind, and confused minds never buy. So that is a perfect way. So thank you so much, Vladimir. And if people would like to get in touch with you and know more, what's the best way to contact you?
They can check out my website at www.vladimerbotsvadze.com. They can follow me on Twitter at Vlado Botsvadze. Also connect with me on LinkedIn. And because if they organizing event, or if they have a podcast and they want to invite me to their episodes, or if I can help them in any way in business to fast track their success for the best possible results, then I'm I'm the right person to collaborate with on great projects in the future. And they can also check out they can Google me to see what I have achieved in my industry. They can read my interviews or in magazine interviews, or they will soon they will read my book, because I'm champing at the bit to publish my book and to put my best tips into this book and to show the world what I'm made of, because I'm dying, just to publish this book, because I am lacking a book, in my industry. But better late than never, right? So it is a right time for me at the age of 35 to publish this book and to put everything, what I have achieved, how I have grown my social media, how I connected to the world, how I, for example, joined, how I was interviewed, for example, on Analytica in London for the first time, in marketing, how I won my first award in 2015. I was recognized as a top 100 B2B influencer. And actually, I will put my practical insights. I will never focus on theories, because I believe that theories don't work. Practical, real experience is what helps everyone stand out worldwide,
Fantastic. And thank you so very much for your time. And SBT audience, remember to enjoy your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Small Business Talk podcast and head on over to smallbusinestalk.com.au/downloads for all the show notes and links to this episode. Remember, to be great, you must start. Pick one tip from today's episode, take action and implement it. Let's meet again next week at the same time and place. Until then, take action. And SBT community, enjoy your journey.